shouldn't have said anything. She probably threw her phone.
She probably did. Like those assholes.
Just doing it.
James, yeah,
No,
he
I
just
had to
walked
go
away.
get I had to go get something cold.
Spicy tea.
I totally forgot to grab it earlier.
She goes, I'm good. Come on. Come on,
Yeah, right.
Paranormal Misfit. Come on
Come on, you
up.
don't want to come on?
It's
A lot
fun
of
here, I
fun.
promise.
She's probably having a bad hair day.
Yeah. Like Bree. She didn't want to go up, come on camera.
Exactly.
But yeah, no,
The
I really wanted to talk about the AI because, to be honest with you, I think it could be an amazing tool in the future for paranormal investigations if it could
yes,
learn from us, right? So
yeah.
that's going to be the weird thing.
Well, a good example. Thank you everybody for joining.
Yeah, thank you.
The like I gave it really brief descriptions on just what I knew with the supposed with the interactions of some of the spirits. Now, example, the wheelchair. I don't know if there's an old woman with it or not. I just know the person I bought the wheelchair from said the lady that owned it passed away. So stuff like that. Hey, Stormy Daydream.
Hello.
Great. Hope you are too. They So, but I still, what I didn't want to get too detailed. I just kind of left it very brief on each picture to see what AI would do. It was very creepy and cool at the same time.
Right.
The especially the initial picture I sent you, the very first one with the doll with I know what seems to be a 6-year-old spirit. The others saying the one that really blew me away is I sent a picture of one of the dolls to it to do, and then it wound up doing the wheelchair with like this woman standing behind it. And what blew me away with the woman standing behind it is I never gave it that picture, and to me it looks like the picture very similar to the woman above the mantle that I have all my steins on.
Yeah.
As far as what she's wearing, her face, her nose, kind of looking down a little bit, and I just thought that was weird because I have not gave it that picture at all to do anything with. It just was there,
And I think
now,
too, like the speculation
coincidence,
with it,
maybe.
yeah, I'm kind of
Yeah.
like wondering if it like AI just didn't put that in there, but it's always
Hey, Anna.
one of those things. Hey, Anna, one of those things where
That's
obviously
Anna
speculation.
from that's Anna from Savor the Flavor.
Flavor.
We investigated the liquor place.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I'll give her a follow.
She's the one that we had the EVP that says "mommy" and it was actually her big mouth.
Oh yeah, that's
Well, actually, Stormy has a great question. I have a question. Do you think ghosts start to show up when they know death is near? Absolutely. Because there's an energy behind it, and this is just my own opinion, right? This isn't scientifically proven or anything like that, but hospice, as well as a lot of medical staff and everything else, have always said that there's something going on in the room when this happens or when it's about to happen. So, obviously, we would have to go on their word, right? I've been around a few in my time,
Hey,
but
Joy.
but yeah, I believe that in my personal opinion. To back on the AI thing, I think that we're kind of onto something in really investigating that tool itself. Obviously with.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stormy.
Yeah,
Sorry to
man.
hear that.
Oh man, I'm sorry for your loss.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
That's rough. Anytime you're dealing with that, and we have my wife's cousin's husband is passing away from cancer too. So he was given a few weeks to live. So yeah, I can only imagine. Obviously what the family's going through.
Thank
So
you, Joey.
definitely thoughts and prayers on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we appreciate it.
I definitely agree with David on that. The energy, whether sensing them passing over because they're getting closer to, I guess, through the veil, if you will. So because that's just like, as they're passing, a lot of them are seeing their relatives, they're seeing their dads, their moms, aunts, uncles that have passed, So it's almost like they're crossing that rainbow bridge, if you will, from physical to spiritual. So they're able to see more what most of us can't see. You have the few sensitives that can connect to that other side. But I think that's a lot of could definitely pick up on activity around because they're all coming because they know they can sense it, feel it. However, that's said it's until we actually do it ourselves, nobody will truly 100% know. But definitely my opinion on that as well is I agree with David. It's just
Yeah.
by what has people have talked about, it just makes sense.
Yeah. And also too, I go back to, I used to work before I worked where I work now, I used to work for Baptist Medical Center. And, part of my position there was having to safeguard bodies when they do pass on. And there's some, obviously some weird energy in the room. Like I've never had to experience anything, or I never experienced anything while I was there, but the family did, right? They would always talk about what just happened, or so again, it's like I've never really I've been around it before. I just never had to experience that, but I have to go on the word of others. So, but yeah, it's definitely a weird energy because you are passing, kind of what somebody had mentioned that you're passing through a thin veil of not only of existence to non-existence, right? So, there's definitely a veil there that is about to be passed on, and you're about to see through that, right? So you're going to be able to see kind of like it's reverting back to when, if you've ever had kids and, the innocence that kids have when they're like, well, you don't see them, they're right there. Or if they have, family members that have passed on and coming back to play with them or introduce themselves to that. I have a great story on that one. And I know that everybody here that has kids more than likely does too. So yeah, it's definitely an amazing experience.
Well,
However,
and
the
that
loss
just
is
makes
there.
it, and that makes it sense too. If you sit there and think about it, you watch the documentaries on people that have passed but came back, and a lot of times they, were told it's not your time.
Mm-hmm.
So now, regardless of your beliefs, how does these spirits know it's not your time? Unless there's a bigger connection, energy, universe, religion, however you want to look at it.
Right.
It's almost like you have a time clock, and I guess on the spiritual side, they know it. No, not a problem,
No, you're
Stormy, not
fine.
at all.
Yeah, this is a good space for
This is
that.
what this is all about. Exactly.
Exactly.
This is what
Yeah.
this is all about.
Because I mean, not
And
only do we like talking about it, but we also like being about it. That's why we go out and we investigate. We're trying to find out. I mean, yeah, do we believe they exist? Absolutely. Everyone here. I mean, well, James is the only one. Well, Brandon, Did you see? You haven't seen a full body, have you?
Yeah.
Full body apparition. Oh, you have. Okay, so James and Brandon have seen one. I have not. But obviously, I'm willing and able to do it and to see it. So, but yeah, no, I'm glad you came in, Stormy. I really am. So, I'm very glad.
No. I always tease we're all a little crazy in this field, but no, don't feel like you're crazy.
Have I
There's
been
stuff
touched
that's
in the porta
still
potty?
unexplained. David's the only one that can claim that one.
He's got us beat on that one.
Yep. Look, it was the nice sensual example of what not to do at a location. Okay. All right. But yeah, no, you're in the right place here. This is what we like to talk about. We like to, there is some skepticism and everything else in what we do. And we like to question everything. However, if you're left with, more questions than answers, then more than likely, I mean, that's exactly what paranormal stands for. Para, meaning, obviously not, and paranormal meaning normal. So not normal. So when you're left with that, it's got to be something there. So yeah, we are believers too. We definitely are. But yeah, there's always a bit of skepticism whenever we go into a location about that, so kind of have to have that.
And if you just look at Brandon, you can just tell that's not normal.
Not normal. Not normal. I don't know what they do out there in Madison, Florida, but but no, I mean, once we get together, you'll all see. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. But you'll see the absolute craziness when we're all together, and we're just kind of like just giving each other flack the entire time wherever we go. It's nothing but love and just good old fashioned fun. But
That's true,
yeah,
Bree.
that's true, Bree. We, but normal is boring. I know that's a cliche, but normal is absolutely boring, and I don't want anything to do with that, to be honest. It doesn't excite me.
I,
um,
I,
yeah.
I
No, that's
say,
exactly what you do,
Stormy,
Stormy.
just, yeah, you can debunk and all that, but I would also at the same time, being what's happened and everything, I would definitely more take it all in.
Hmm.
Because not many people get to experience that. Even though it is a traumatic situation, you know, definitely try to take the positivity from it. That there is another side, and that this isn't the end, and we'll get to hopefully put up with each other in the future.
Yeah.
Beyond the grave,
And
hassle
then
each
what we'll
other and
do
harass each
as
other.
as a paranormal group, we're going to investigate the living. That's what we'll
Living, exactly.
do.
What's your name? Jim Bob.
Why are they always screaming when I come out? It's weird.
David's going to touch people in a porta potty.
Yeah. Hey, revenge is
Excuse me,
there.
hurry up.
Well, I mean, Stormy is, yeah, obviously, it's a traumatic event. It's something that's
Yeah.
strange that happened. Your mind is going to always try to recreate it and or matrix it, being that you're trying to make sense of it. So it's just one of those things. It's okay. I promise.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, get better with time. It
yeah,
takes time.
it really does. But yeah, no, and I kind of I go back and revert back to the whole AI thing too, because
Mhm.
I think that it can be an amazing tool if you utilize. Now, what this is potentially going to do, and I'd like both of y'all's input on this one, is it'll cause a lot of problems for the paranormal field too.
Mhm.
So, because again, if you're looking at it, if AI can self-generate and or create images that may look lifelike, that's going to
Mhm.
create a lot of issues for the paranormal field, and
Mhm.
we have to be ready to call those out, and say like, nope.
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
love about
Stormy,
you,
you can always message privately too.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't put anything on here, but you can message privately. Anything you need to feel free to discuss, ask questions, whatever. But yeah, as far as the AI thing, it was really mind blowing. Like I said, very little. The few of the pictures, that very first doll, and Dorothy, you know, she was most creepy, and I told her she was an angry teenager, but just the way it made it so creepy, and then the pigtails and everything, and I didn't give it any of that idea.
Yeah.
So I just basically said, from what I've seen of her, she looked like a nesting doll. The shape of her, her apparition, I guess, and then it drew that based off of that. So yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, using it, and that's going to be the challenge too, is making sure. Well, it's making sure it's going to be hard to, because looking at those, which those I set up as like a poster, but we've been blowing away with all the action figures.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, Stormy. One day at a
Yeah.
time.
Thank
That's
you.
it. And
Appreciate you coming on.
blowing away the action figures. We've been a little crazy with that. You too, girl, and having fun with that. And I think,
He was having a heyday.
as far as faking evidence, I really think some people are going to really get carried away with that if we're not careful. And oh, look, I caught this, and it'll look real.
Yeah.
Someone looks so lifelike. I mean, look at your action figures. You actually look good for once, and it looks
I
so
know.
real.
Right.
That's right, David.
I mean, I look like Jeffrey Dean Morgan, like that's, but no, and I also think it could potentially push people away from the paranormal just because there's so much, what out there as far as,
Mhm.
BS with it. And it may push people away from it, because we're finally starting to see a community build upon itself. And then this is just something that can interrupt that. And, but I also feel that it could be a good tool to help analyze, like putting it in and understanding what that actually looks like. So, we're definitely going to play with it a little bit, but not foresee it being that.
Yes, and I haven't done it yet, but something the guys brought up off War Party, Eric and Mike were talking, and Mike actually has been playing with it for analyzing audio.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Really
I've already
breaking
done that
down. Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
How's it done?
It's basically you upload the file, it'll break it down for a transcript, and that transcript will literally be point by point of what it hears. and AI can actually spit out exactly what it hears to you. So you can even go back, listen to it. You can read the transcript and see if it's actually interpreting it the right way. But it could be, yeah.
So I got an idea to try. I don't want to put it on here right now.
Yeah,
But
I already kind of know where you're going.
I got an idea to try using it.
Yep. Because I think, again, we're not trying to, gatekeep anything, but we want to make sure that
not at all. Yeah.
When we do release it, it's going to be factual and actual. So I think that's what we're after here. Brandon, what do you think about the AI thing?
Yeah, it's messing up a lot of stuff out there to me. I don't like AI. I mean, James, you see how James done went AWOL on it.
Brandon is currently mad at AI because it won't let him make any action figures. he keeps saying he's violating policies.
I was getting pissed about it. I was like, "You stupid AI."
I think it's an amazing tool. I use ChatGPT every day, professionally and personally, but I definitely use it every day, and I think it's a good tool, and truly understanding the capabilities of it. Storm, you too. But understanding the capabilities that it can actually bring, right? So we're going to also test a few other theories with it that me and James actually already kind of went over to a point when we sat down, but yeah, there's going to be a lot in interruption of very good factual information, and it could actually fight previous videos, right? Like uploading it and seeing if it's actually happened, because I mean, how many fake and just craptastic evidence do you see, but yet people are calling it real and they're going viral. And
I
absolutely
probably just going to have to do just like you, David. Just sit down and play with it more and more, just to see if AI would let me in.
Yeah, I mean, obviously too, like Left Hook.
About it.
Yeah, Left Hook brings up a good point, and I think it'd be crucial to create a foundation of evidence before diving into AI. You're absolutely right. But yet too, and I'll caveat with that is that the base and foundational really. There's really no balance to it just yet, is because, again, we don't know what we're dealing with. I mean, we know that it was people, we know that it's energy, but for all intents and purposes, one entity can have a lot of energy and one entity could have barely any. That's where the faintness of it comes. But having AI as a tool, that's what's going to be difficult. And truly understanding, to your point, Left Hook, is what's the foundation for AI? Right. And what's the foundation for your tool? Just like, I mean, you can't use an EMF detector as a voice recorder. Right. So it's kind of the same concept. You got to have to found a foundation for both. And yes, full transparency. Absolutely. Completely agree. That's where we're going to be if in the event we ever release anything AI that's assisted with AI, we will always put it in the description. We would never try to manipulate, the people that actually watch our content going forward. So we'll never do that to them.
Yeah, we're not going to do like some of them people, EMF detectors next to their phones on live. Look at this thing; it's going red. It's haunted.
Yeah, and we've seen it too. And I just kind of sit there and shake my head, and I don't want to say anything.
I'm like, just scroll.
Yeah, I'm on. And then, obviously a security system that you can see lagging, and then it's like somebody walks by, and I'm like, okay, yeah. This is Wi-Fi, not hardwire.
David, don't scroll. David's going to get kicked out.
He's such a mean.
Well, I mean, you can ask James. You can ask James. I used to post videos and debunking certain things, and they would do semi well. And immediately after having, I'm not going to say the name of the creator. I'm going to put that like that. The creator, as soon as they got a little angry, all of a sudden it just boom down. And it's because people, I guess, they don't get like being called out, especially if that's how they're generating their revenue here, right? So totally get that. But again, you put it in the description that this is just for entertainment purposes. This is not real or something like that. Don't pass it off as something that's real. When
Why do you think we have
actual-
Brandon with us for entertainment purposes?
Right?
Yeah, that's true, 100%.
And if we're ever dehydrated, just have him cry.
That's we're not gonna let that down.
Nope, not at all, good sir. Because the 2 times that I've investigated with you, it's waterworks have turned on. Waterworks have turned on.
I can't help it; they attach to me like that.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
Is that what it
I can
was?
see
Is
it.
that what it was?
Look at here,
Attaching you?
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. That's just, I'm telling you, it's
They
weird.
were trying to pull me out of there, and you all up in my face. Come on, cameraman, get with it.
I'm just trying to
I had
watch
to get
out
the
for
good stuff.
my 6-foot
I don't-
pod brother. You know?
I don't remember it until you started playing that video back, and I'm like, wow, David really tried to pull me out, and you over here really just jamming that camera up in my face.
And the whole time I was thinking, wow, he's just a baby.
Oh man. Well, I mean, because
up,
I go back,
MD13?
I understand. Yeah, hey, what's up? I understand it's a very dramatic experience, right? Like when you're feeling all the emotions of basically of a situation and of a location. But it was just kind of funny because James is just sitting there like, "What's going on, guys? You all right?" And then I'm just like, "All right, Brandon, let's go, bud. Let's get you out of here for a little bit."
Yeah,
let's go
David
take a
had to
breather.
ruin it.
I know, it was
Let's
all
get
me.
David was
back to a
saving
safe
the day.
space. Let's get
Because
David back to a safe
Dylan
space.
really got strong.
Give him some milk and cookies.
Well, see, too, because it's like I give Brandon probably the most crap here. You know what I mean? Like, but it's all out of love, right? Because I know I can joke around with him, and I give Brandon kind of the same. But it's like,
Watch your words.
obviously-
We're riding together tomorrow.
Hey, all I'm saying, bro, it's coming. It's coming. But nevertheless, it's like we do have a lot of fun, and we want to show that positive light and that
Amen.
positivity of fun just to everybody. Hey, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you'll see a mix of not only investigation but us driving too, and just absolutely razzing on one another. Because again, you have to show the positivity and the fun that we have on these. Because I mean, obviously, we have generations that are going to come after us, and we want to make sure that they're doing the same thing. You know, being realistic with their content, being actual and factual. So that's what the whole premise of what we do here.
Actual and factual. That could be a
Yes,
t-shirt.
sir. It is. That's patent pending, by the way. Anybody here? That's patent pending.
Yeah.
I already wrote it up. It's with our U.S. government.
Cool,
But
friend. Thanks for joining.
hey, cool friend. But yeah, no, that's what we're based on. There's a lot of good teams out here too. You know, so like we're
Absolutely,
not the only
yeah,
ones.
Oh, yeah.
No.
So
No,
yeah,
there's
I mean,
there's a lot of good-hearted, good people, good-natured people that are just like we are, doing it for the love of it, wanting to find answers, wanting to, oh Lord, I just lost the word. Meeting new people, making new friends, those connections and all that, And
Yeah.
same thing like I've always said before. And I've met more people now and made friendships chasing the dead than I ever did hanging out with the living.
Yep.
Because you had to pay people
I mean-
to hang out with you.
Exactly.
Well, hold on. To be fair, you kind of have to pay to go to these locations to hang out with these people.
Well,
Just
yes,
saying.
but not the cemeteries. And so you can go to the
That's true.
cemeteries and the dead people, they can't leave. They're stuck with me.
That's a good point. That's a good point. But yeah, no, that's exactly what this is all about. Having fun, showing people that it's good. But like, I strongly suggest, and I know that there's only 8 people in here right now, but I strongly suggest like following very good paranormal groups, and you'll pick them out. You'll pick them out as soon as you go to their page. If they're decent at what they're doing and they're telling the truth and they're not trying to, fill.
Yeah,
with fluff.
don't pull a. Well, I guess you could pull a David, and
And debunk.
invite somebody along and then stalk their page. To see if you're gonna
Well,
say
I'm
yes or no.
sorry. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I wasn't going to be in the back of a trunk. Look at me, all right? I'm built different. Okay, you two are very big gents. All right, I'm
I
not.
pulled up to him. I pulled up to him in front of the jail, and I'm like, he gets out of the car, and I'm like, this dude needs to eat more.
See, then there's a caveat. Brandon, we take him to a Golden Corral, they kick us out. You know, I mean, he has 8 plates. All right.
Yeah. Surprised Brandon didn't hand you a Slim Jim.
Well, first off, be Slim David. Okay, I am not Jim. I am not Jim. But yeah, no, I mean, like that's what this is all about. And like when I had to stalk your page is because again, it's like I try to find a group here, and then all of a sudden I get a random invitation online, and my wife even said this. It's like you're gonna go meet people at an abandoned jail that you met online. I said, yeah, and that was it. And that was.
But we teach our kids not to talk to strangers.
But then we call Uber. You know,
James, I figured this out, James. I figured this out. Why his drone did not work that day. He got scared and he couldn't operate it.
I didn't know he had a drone with him.
Yeah, it was in the back. He had it. He was going to fly it around until you got there, but it didn't work. I guess when
that's not what happened at all.
I guess when you got Elegante standing by and you little guy looking up, how you doing?
No,
he didn't need the drone then, Brandon. He could just put the camera on your head.
Yeah, so I was about to say, when Bigfoot just walk around with the damn thing, didn't even offer it. All right, didn't even offer it. All right, bro. I bet you're like the champion at hanging Christmas lights. You know,
I got the title belt.
Yeah, you're at like eye level with that Christmas tree angel, bro. Like that's impressive.
Most people can't reach the top shelf. He looks over.
He looks over. There's dust up here.
There's normal sized people. Then there's Gulliver's Travels. Brandon.
If I'm not wrong, correct me if I'm wrong. Them
You're
doors, them doors at the USS Battleship.
They're like 5 foot tall.
5'5".
They're Yvette size. They're Yvette size.
Yvette, I'm not going to let him talk to you like that.
I am, because that was kind of funny, you know. It was just, and she cracked back at him too. That's exactly what. But yeah, no, they're small. That's why I didn't join the Navy. No, thank you.
Do I need to bring my
Star
hard
on top of the tree? Yeah,
so I don't knock myself out.
You might
want eventually. Yeah. So you might want to put some cushion under your hat there, because.
What is this guy wearing a football helmet?
You're going to have to duck. Brandon's going to have to crawl.
Yeah. Dude, that's why I didn't join the Navy. I'm not only claustrophobic, but I have a horrible fear of drowning. All right? So I'm definitely not going into a service where that's their whole service. I'm not doing that.
You didn't want to be on a ship full of seamen?
No, thank you. Not my jive, but whoever that is their jive, that's fine. We don't judge here at all. So
no.
But yeah, no, I just couldn't do it. No, thank you. No.
It's very tight in there.
I have so many other jokes for that, but I'm not doing that.
I'm trying to behave on that comment.
Yeah. 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 All right. Now I'm all sidetracked. Okay.
I know AI. We were talking about AI.
That's right.
Went to
AI.
Tight portholes and
foundation and doors. And doors. We went to doors.
And portholes.
There's some there. No, it's definitely gonna be a good time down there.
Yes. It's gonna be
on a veil.
Ecstatic.
Yeah, I'm obviously too. It's like this is the first time we've been back together since Penhurst, so that'd be fun. But yeah, that's a long time. Submarine. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Those submariners, man, I'm telling you, they're different beast type of people. Okay, I mean, no, thank you.
There's no way.
No, absolutely not. No, I'll gladly sit on a flight line any day. Gladly. But yeah, no, I think with us going up there, we're gonna be talking a lot more about what we can use in the future with AI. I know Brandon's not really on that board yet, but to show him the capabilities of it,
we gotta show him how to turn it on first.
Yeah, and now, I mean, he knows how to use WhatsApp to hit, press to talk. Now that he found that out, you can do the same thing on AI. So it's a beautiful thing. Absolutely beautiful thing. But yeah, no, it's definitely going to be interesting to see what the field is going to be like in less than 2 years. I mean, I'm calling it now to where we're going to see a lot more AI integration, and AI integration can be an amazing because it's already used.
You're gonna have booty call robots at your house. What are you talking about?
Yep. They do that now, right? Yeah.
They
Jesus
might.
Christ,
Baby
Brandon.
steps, Brandon, baby steps.
Yep. We're gonna have to. All right, left hook. He's gonna have to crawl into it. Okay, because this. All right. He still has a flip phone. Okay, like he texts hit 555-777. You know, so. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's a good tool. If used properly, just like anything else. So playing with it and understanding it a little bit better is only going to help us be beneficial in the field and as it changes. But I'm still a firm believer in old school is the best school. You know, so utilizing the old school tools, and it's generated more evidence than anything else that's out there. So we're always probably going to stick with the old school tools, but offer a little bit more in the same. So have to keep up with the trends of what's out there in the investigation field so that we can debunk it. So that is the whole reasoning that we use the new tools out there. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like Delco, Estes, and all that, that's a great when you actually have very high energy and they're actually responding to your questions. But then there's some sessions, I mean, we ran into it. There's some sessions where the answers are everywhere or they're not matching whatever the questions are being asked. So yeah, that's our whole job is to debunk everything, not necessarily
Which
call
is
it.
interesting too. We've had some sessions where it's almost like they're ignoring you, whether they can hear you or not. Not really sure, but they're conversating with each other. You know, which is very interesting. You know, so they obviously can communicate with themselves. You know.
But it goes back to frequency. You know, I think it goes back to that frequency, right?
Hey, Sierra.
Hey, Sierra. You know, so it goes back to frequency. They speak on a frequency just as much as we do. You know, so and Estes is a perfect example of that, or Delco. So could be could be residual. Yes, it could definitely be residual. You just don't know. But if they're answering, each other back and forth, it could be residual, right? So they're just not hearing us; they're just talking to each other. But nevertheless, they could be making fun of you, so when they're talking about each other. So, but yeah, it's interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what AI looks like in this field. And
I call it in 10 years we'll be Terminator and looking for John Connor, and
they tried to warn us, right? And we just did not listen. We did not listen.
Model T101 or T100?
100, T100. See, here's my point with
Looking
this,
like
right?
Schwarzenegger.
We're bringing back dinosaurs, and then we had movies that taught us everything about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, we look into cryptids. We actually have one on the live right now.
Thank you, Sierra. He just shaved all his hair off.
Madison.
Don't listen to it.
No, listen to me,
He
Matt.
shaved all
You
his
have to
hair
listen.
off. And
All right,
he has that
You just got-
southern drawl.
bro. Like yours is a southern draw with two L's, bro. Like that's how southern it is for you. It's just drawl. So, but yeah,
Brandon,
no,
are you trying to get that? Are you trying? It looks like on the screen like you're trying to get the Texas mustache going.
like Stone Cold Steve Austin's second cousin or some shit.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I
You
like
need to
it.
put your cowboy hat on, and you be bring it back wider.
Hey, we don't disrespect the herb here. Rest in peace. But yeah, no, I mean, I think, with cryptids, we definitely, I do believe in cryptids. Whether what they are, we don't know. We still to this day, people, there's speculation, obviously, but if you ever meet a cryptid expert, I would definitely forego that second term because nobody is truly an expert. They just have a lot of information on something.
That's in any of this.
Yeah. Or even if you run into somebody, I'm a paranormal expert. Like, oh, okay. Not everything's the same. Not everything is the same. So
My name
I
is
still, I
James.
still hold. There's people with different experience levels as far as what they've experienced. But as far as calling yourself an expert, yes, you may have people that are PhD doctorates, this, that, and the other, but no one, not in this field, there's no true expert because it's not the same every time, and you can't make it be the same result every time. You know,
exactly.
what different locations, however, you go to the same location multiple times from Daytona Beach.
They do.
And you know, in not get the same results, not get the same responses. You know, it's there's no on off switch with this.
Yep.
You know,
That's
to
that
say
sea bass they eat in the Daytona.
Yeah, because again, in anything scientific, you need to be able to replicate it in order for it to be
over, yes,
over and over, and we can't do that in this field. Now, again, to James's point, you have individuals that have experiences and a lot of experience, but that does not make them an expert. So that's the. I think that's what's truly misleading in this field, is because well, I heard it from this expert here. Well, it's like, okay, well, they're not an expert, but please tell me what you heard. Because everybody's
and a lot, and it's got
perception of it.
it's gotten used real loosely, and especially if they've been on TV. Oh, he's an expert because he was on TV. No, he
Yep.
just got lucky at a shot to be on TV, you know, which is awesome.
Wait a minute.
That don't make you an expert.
Yep.
So James, you're an expert because you was on TV.
No,
Oh.
I just said I wasn't an expert.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, someone's above us.
It's on TV twice.
He's like, twice? You picking your nose double time?
I was scratching my nose.
Dual.
Duel.
Dual. Like, but no. But
no,
yeah,
that's not.
I've heard and I've been on lives before about people talking about now they didn't necessarily call them experts, but they were like, oh, I've got a lot more experience in the field. I'm like, no, you don't. You just have more experiences. There's a difference between that, right? So, I mean, somebody can investigate location 100 times, but I can go in there, investigate it, and get something completely different than they did the first 100 times. It just they have more experience, not experience. So there's a big difference in that, and I think this community, especially the ones that may have a little bit of a higher following and things like that. Ghost Notes Paranormal is probably the only one that I've ran into where he's like really awesome. You know what I mean? He really brings a whole lot of people into the community and inviting in that sense. But he's never called himself an expert, or anything like that. But others have, they're like, yeah, I've done this many. And it's like, okay, cool. I've done 15. All right, good call. Or just doesn't make sense to me. And now what you're doing is
Thank you,
you're pushing the
Paranormal
smaller.
MF, for jumping on.
Later, Christine. See you tomorrow. But then now you're pushing more people away from the field because you have these individuals that are just getting into it, excited, and now they're not wanting to do it because they're for fear of putting something out for these bigger creators to come back and maybe push them away, right?
Agreed,
Yep,
Sierra.
exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we just I don't know if you heard us. That's exactly what we were talking about. And yeah, it's kind of
She probably didn't. She's
infuriating.
too busy making her own TikTok.
Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about
Sierra
her
does me.
nails.
Sierra outdoes me on TikTok. I ain't gonna
Nails
lie.
done.
Left Hook just asked a question
What's that? I didn't see
real
it.
quick. As far as me, I got into paranormal because I experienced this ever since I was a little kid, all the way up to now, and I was kind of fearful of it a little bit. My parents and grandparents and all always told me don't be afraid of them. They won't hurt you. Fear the living, not the dead. But I really got into it when the first Ghost Hunters show, originally the OGs, came out, and I was like, oh, wow, you can actually investigate this stuff and not be afraid of it. So then it just kind of went from there years, and I'll let David and Brandon tell theirs real quick.
Go ahead, Brandon.
That's great,
Or
Brandon.
not.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
great story, Brandon. I mean, holy crap.
Yeah, that was amazing. Wow.
I was reading the text while you was talking.
Multitasking, Brandon.
I'm
Multitasking.
trying. Really? You asking me to multitask?
That's a good point. But go ahead. Please tell us your story about how you got into the paranormal, please.
We only have 45 minutes, Brandon.
Nah,
I can't wait to see you all tomorrow.
What?
That's mind blowing, Brandon. Holy cow!
I give up. Next.
Floor is yours, Brandon. Go ahead, brother.
Two.
So, by the way, did anybody see my Wolverine, rubbing David's picture? That was pretty fun.
That had me dying. I'm like, oh, there it is. That was funny. Because I wasn't expecting it. So, like, when I pulled it up, I'm like, what? Oh my God. I had to find something quick, right? So I found the SpongeBob one where he's like, lick the picture. So, yeah,
that was hilarious.
But Brandon, please, again, third time's a charm. Please tell us.
Hurry up, Brandon. God.
Now, what really brought me into the paranormal is just that.
Okay, we're done.
Take 4.
Go ahead, Brandon.
I think he left.
He was bored.
Brandon down. Brandon down. He was bored. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Oh shit! Let me catch my breath now.
David, tell your story. Brandon's got to catch my breath. It'll take a while.
You are such an ass.
All right. Mine started a lot like when I was a kid, too. So I got really involved with it or intrigued with it with Unsolved Mysteries. So when Robert Frost used to come on in that voice, have you ever know? Like I knew something was about to pop off. And
You didn't sound the same.
No, I can't pull him off. I'm sorry. I can't pull him off. That's just a stature of a human that's well above me. But yeah, when he
that's
came
a lot
on,
of humans above
you. Actually, it's only one. I'm a short guy. But yeah, no. Whenever the paranormal, the ghost ones came on, I got more intrigued with it, and I really wanted to do it. And then I started a little group when I was in the military. And we did a few small
dwarfs?
investigations. No, there's 6 of us.
It's intense.
But yeah, no, we started to investigate around Andrews Air Force Base because Andrews Air Force Base was around in the Civil War time, and Chapel 2 on Andrews was used as a Civil War hospital. And out behind it is a graveyard, and it's definitely the headstones only read, mother, father, baby, son, daughter, so there was no names on this, and that intrigued me. And I didn't have all the equipment back then. I had a camcorders, and that was pretty much it. But yeah, no, I mean, as soon as I got out of the military, I concentrated on transitioning from the military to civilian life, get a job and, foundationally. And then my kids were on TikTok for a little bit, and they're like, where are you getting all this information? And they're like, TikTok. I'm like, that's for teenagers. It's not for me. And then I finally downloaded the app, and then I had a
Did you do any dancing videos?
Just 2. All right. And I'm not really, I call the first one Juicy Fruit. No, I'm just kidding. No, I never did that. But I have another page that I did a paranormal one on, a video, and it went viral. And so somebody told me that I should do a paranormal page, and I did. And I opened that up and basically got involved with Cross the Line Paranormal, and that's the history of it. I got on one day and was like, I can't find a group in Northeast Florida, and like nobody wants me, man. So and then James,
I felt bad.
Yeah,
exchanging a few videos.
Guy. He's just a little guy. But no, James reached out and said, hey, I got at Jasper County Jail in Florida. I got an investigation. You're more than welcome to come out. So I stalked his page to make sure he was legit. All the videos down. And then, I was like, yep. And so I went out, investigated with the team, and it was like almost as if a natural transition happened. Like we got in, and it was just boom. It was off the hook. I'll never forget because we were
shadow figures together. Brandon's crotch vibrated. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah. Well, it was funny because I remember going to dinner right before we went back to the I'll never forget this. We went to dinner, like through a drive-through. I can't remember the name of the restaurant. Hardee's. And so like we're sitting there, we're pulled up to order, and I'm like, hey, what do you want? Yeah, just give me the 2-piece. And I look over and I went, yeah, he wants the 5-piece. And it's just immediately, everybody started laughing, and that's how I knew I was in good company. I could joke around. But I will give my wife credit here, because one thing my wife told me was to find friends that were not in the military. And she was absolutely correct. So I do want to give my wife a shout out there, because it's the truth. They bring a different perspective of life than being a veteran, right? I mean, there's supporters of veterans, great, but nevertheless, there's a different element there that, yes, it's almost as if like I can joke around with them like they were in the military, but there's not a pressure to be a veteran, if that makes any sense, right? It's not like when you get around the veteran community, it's almost as if there is a pressure to be like a veteran, and I said it when I went through Travis Manning. I said, a veteran is what a veteran is what I am, not who I am, So, and who I am is a father and now ghost hunter, and so I can definitely have different labels and not just a veteran, So I'll give my wife a shout out to that. Now, Brandon, do you want to take
Awesome.
5 on this one?
Glad your wife pushed you on that.
Yeah, definitely. Sierra, absolutely.
All right, Brandon, can you follow that one?
Can I follow that one? I almost fell asleep during the storyline.
I almost fell asleep.
You're welcome. Hey, I'll put that on audio and AI and send it to you.
I'm over here just like, David, land the plane. Land the plane. Nice and sweet. Come on.
Hey, first off,
you had to go through 272 chapters in one.
Brandon, don't give me the birth. Give me the baby, baby. Go.
You was over there giving birth and the baby and bottle feeding. What are you talking about?
First off, I burped the baby. Now go. Take 6.
No, I'm actually, when I first started years back before James took over Cross Line Paranormal, I could say that my but shut the hell up. No, that I got a buddy of mine. She was in hardcore paranormal because she was always watching stuff, TV shows and stuff like that. And she's like all into it. And she's like, "You need to do some of this stuff with me." And I'm like, "No, I don't believe in that." So I finally rode with her a couple of times, and she got up with James. Not at the time, it wasn't James. It was I can't even think his name, James.
I think this story's crash and burn. Philip. Jesus.
Take 7. Sorry.
This plane is crashing, Philip. This is Brandon.
Okay, Ronald McDonald.
No, I disbelieve a lot of stuff when I first started because paranormal wasn't. I thought it was a joke to me. I thought it was 100% joke. I started debunking everything, proving people wrong, but there was some stuff I started getting into like, holy shit, this is actually really happening. Getting pressure on your head, pressure in your eyes that it hurts so bad you have to walk away from it.
Pressure in your crotch area.
Why is it vibrating? Brandon, that's a personal problem. Take 8.
You know what? Radio guys.
You love us.
I'm stuck with y'all. I don't know how the hell I got with y'all.
I reached out on TikTok.
I will have to say and commend both of y'all. Very good at debunking and not just jumping to the first, it's paranormal or it's haunted or anything like that. Definitely y'all both are able to keep that focus of, okay, let's double check this, let's recheck, triple check, before deeming it something paranormal, anything we've caught and done. So I definitely commend both of y'all on that, because there's times I'll get excited and just right away send something or whatever, and then it wind up, nope, it wasn't.
Oh yeah, I mean I get that rush too now. I used to not get that rush until I started hanging out with you. Hey man, listen to this. Listen to it. Listen to it.
The one thing that kind of threw me off, and I go back to Penhurst when we walked into that room of mannequins. You know what I mean? And you heard "you lie" just like that, and we didn't hear that. None of us heard that.
Was that before or after I walked in the room when James was standing at the corner?
You were in the room. You walked in the room too, Brandon.
I heard
You were
it.
in the room.
David hadn't quite made it into the room yet. He was close, I think,
I was in Candyland.
because he was fussing about walking away from Candyland because he wanted a piece of candy. And
Piece of candy.
you said something. You said something to the effect of like,
Oh hell no!
something freaking me out kind of thing. If
one
one of them moves,
if one of these mannequin moves,
yeah,
I'm getting the hell out of here.
and then that's when I heard it in the camera audio with that external mic I had of David's on my phone or on my hat, picked it up, but I heard it with my own ears too, and it was loud. But yet you, Brandy, and Brandon, y'all didn't hear it.
Nope.
So that's
It's your reaction.
Maybe I'm more sensitive than I really give myself credit for. I don't know. It's really weird because it was, and the reason I say it because it runs on my mom's side of the family, but it's mostly the women. but it was to my right side near Brandon and Brandy. They should have heard it. As loud as it was, they should have heard it. And none of them heard it.
No.
So,
I mean, well, what we did hear,
The
though, I
reaction
wish
of
that
your
we could
face
have
was like
is,
a deer in the headlight.
yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, the one thing is when we were down in the Mayflower, and you and I, James, when we were down there, we heard those two voices. They were talking to each other.
Yes.
You know, that
and
was
saw the lights
insane.
like flashlights. Yes.
Yeah, the lights coming down the stairs, and we all saw that. Now I wish there was because we had pointed the camera down towards the Kings area.
Brandon,
we didn't point it straight out.
I don't know why I was facing Brandon, but I had it pointed on Brandon for some reason.
Well, because he had the microphone, he walked all the way down. I'm like, what is he doing? It's blocked. You can't go all the way down, Brandon. Come back. I want to put like the little toddler leashes on him sometimes because he likes to wander.
Retractable one? Yes.
Yeah, he likes to wander, and then all of a sudden he pops around a corner. I'm like, oh shit, what the hell, dude? Where did you come from? Like you are like a cryptid, dude. No lie.
I was at the other end of the tunnel when y'all turned around and saw that light, and I was right behind y'all.
Yeah.
Caught up
Like,
with
where'd
y'all.
you come from?
Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So much for having that mic, on. You couldn't hear us talking.
Exactly.
But yeah, no,
I think
it
it had
was
headphones on,
definitely. I can't wait to get back to Penhurst. I cannot wait to go back.
I definitely want to go back to Penhurst. That was amazing. Definitely going to go back when it's a little bit cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real
A little
big.
bit cooler.
It's a big
Is that your
place.
technical term, Brandon? It's real big.
Yeah.
It's so big.
Mom,
my God.
big boy.
I'm sorry you got me at home.
Eat my vegetables, Mama. I'm sorry.
Lord help us this weekend.
It's huge.
Here's my big guy. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, no, Penhurst. I'm looking forward to Waverly. I'm looking forward to Old South Pittsburgh and Old Harriman Hospital. I'm looking forward to those.
I'm looking forward to this big battleship.
Booze on the battleship. So
yes,
we are more than likely going to be going live from the deck of the battleship because you won't get any service. Yeah. The big deck.
Yes.
That's spelled D-E-C-K. Brandon. This is going to be a great weekend. I can't wait to see you boys. Oh, man. I can't wait to see you boys. But no, we're going to be going live on the deck of Booze on the Battleship because we won't be able to get any service underneath into the hull and everything else. It's obviously
we will probably
iron.
Be if things work out tomorrow, and I don't want to disclose anything yet.
Right.
But if things work out tomorrow, we'll probably be live tomorrow night too.
Yep. I ain't got no
I
bail
ain't
money.
got bail money. So
Sarah, you have bail
Sierra's
money,
got
Sarah. All right, you do better on TikTok than we do. Okay,
I was
you
gonna
got that
say,
bail
yeah.
money.
Sierra,
Oh
please
man,
help me with these two.
no, she ain't. She ain't coming in right now. You know, because
She's-
she's staying away at the moment. Okay, because understandably.
Eggs are expensive.
Well, I got the eggs covered, so it is not expensive.
When you posted that, I'm like, bring them this weekend, bro. Like, why are you posting that? I'd buy them from you this weekend. But no, we got to post them on Facebook.
I got some right now. I got 8 dozen.
Yeah, how many is that, Brandon?
So,
I'm messing
Brian,
with it. I'm not going to get into that.
Hold on, let me see. 1, 2.
This is going to be one hell of a weekend. I cannot wait.
oh God, I
So,
know.
um,
But no, just for everybody listening, definitely, we possibly got an investigation tomorrow night. But I don't, like I said, I don't want details. Really cool old place, very old place. It all depends on how our schedules work, as far as getting off to get there in time to get in there. So
yeah.
if it works out like we're hoping it will, we'll be live tomorrow night from a really cool place. And but I don't want to give away too much right now and just disappoint everybody. And,
Yeah. Because I'll be
so
disappointed. Not going to lie.
yes,
If it doesn't happen.
Brandon will cry for me.
Yeah.
And but if it does work out, we'll be live somewhere between 10:30 11 o'clock.
Gotcha.
So that and goats. Whoa.
No, well, no.
So what's the
She wants us to convince her husband to get her some chickens. I said I'll try, and she was like, "And goats." So I'm like, "Yeah,
And goats.
I'll do that too, Sarah. I got you."
My
All
wife
right, 'cause I'm
wants
trying-
goats. She wants fainting goats,
Me too, bro.
which I want a
just want that.
screaming
All she
goat
got to do
and a
is just
fainting
scare
goat.
you.
Oh my gosh! What?
You got the
what is
acreage?
that? Be a vessel.
What?
What? That's TikTok trying to verify me for some reason. Graze
your face.
grass. Is it my face?
I don't know.
Oh, my
right
face
now.
was wonderful. There we go. I got it to work.
All right. I want to make goat. Yeah.
But I want
I've
a
seen that all
screaming
over
goat
TikTok.
and a fainting goat and let them,
She's
scream
got
and
you.
fall over.
All she got to do is scream and you'll
The
faint.
vicious cycle. Yeah. The vicious, definitely. I mean, I'm trying to convince my wife to move out to the country. All right. I married a beach bum. She loves the beach. All right. I've been around enough sand in my life. All right. I've got plenty of years in the sand. I don't want to be around anymore. When I cough, Iraqi sand still comes out.
Sand gets in all my cracky places. I don't like sand.
I got, so what do y'all
Orifices?
think about them hats?
Huh?
What?
So what do y'all think about them
What?
hats?
How do we go from sand to hats?
I just want to know real quick. That's all.
I'll be honest with you. Like, how does your
Yeah,
brain
I
work,
mean-
bro? It needs to
Very
be studied. It needs to be studied, bro. Like,
Like Frankenstein type.
yeah. It needs to. I want to know how it works. Is your frontal lobe large?
Give my funnel low.
You ever seen that man's forehead? It's large.
Yes.
Yeah, that hat on to
definitely,
cover it
Sarah.
up.
Definitely. Same here. I'm in St. Augustine, so I feel your pain down here.
I did like the hats as long as it's black,
Yeah.
solid black.
Oh, solid
I'm
black.
not a fan of the black and white so much.
See, I'll go black and then OD green.
So you're
baby.
not a fan
That's
of the
about it.
black and white? Huh?
No.
Yeah, well, I'm not a big fan of white because it's so easy to get dirty
Yeah, dirty.
and stained and all that.
Well, you're bald
So
now,
that's
so you
why-
don't have to worry
You
about
do
your
not
hair.
have to wear it every single day.
Who?
Why
I'm
not?
bald. I got hair.
Not you, him.
Oh.
I'm talking about the man underneath. He's bald.
No, I'm not. I got hair.
He's got hair. It just
You-
it's receded back a little bit.
Just a
He
tad.
slicks it back. He
All
slicks
right.
it back.
I've got a 4.5 head, okay? I got a 4.5 head, not a 4.
I got a fly.
All right. You have a tuplet head. That's what. Anyway.
Jesus. He's got hair.
He's got hair. He's got a hair.
No, but
Hair.
actually,
Like Homer Simpson, just 2 little hairs up there.
I actually want to make give a shout out to my cousin that made the hats for us. The Dragonfly Dreams and Design in Moultrie, Georgia.
Oh, is that who that was? That
Yes,
was
it is.
trash talking to you?
She probably was. Ass talking, like always. But yeah, follow her for any designs of T-shirts, decals, clothing.
What's up, Brian Murray?
She would help you out. Dragonfly Dreams and Design out of Moultrie, Georgia. She's got a page on here as well.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'll shout her out depending on how good of a price discount we get.
No, you just double that now.
I'm talking $3.99. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's messing up. I know.
She said Ronald McDonald earlier, so we talk, kids meal prices here, or, that little special $1 menu.
When I was a little kid, I used to have a full-size figure of Ronald McDonald. When I
believe it. You just stood in the corner in a clown suit.
Scary. It's doubled, yeah.
I can see it now.
She still picks on me that day. She won't let me live that one now.
Hey,
I'm sorry, Clowns got ruined after the Poltergeist movie. I was done with Clowns. That clown in the chair and then dragging the kid under the bed. Nope,
I'm good.
'Cause I actually had a nightmare when I was a kid of being drugged under the bed by a clown after watching that movie. I can't stand clowns. I mean, I don't flip out like Brandy does, but yeah, the heck with a clown. What the heck is that?
Is that your twin brother that
in a closet too?
It
was his sleep buddy. Oh my Lord!
I believe that. I truly believe
now we're starting to. Things are starting to come out now.
Brandon, you keep those things in the closet. All right. I don't know how many times I got to tell you that, good sir. All right. Keep them things in that closet. All right.
What? You scared they're going to move and
Brandon,
come and get you?
You ever seen a crime hotel?
Was Ronald McDonald's shoes the only thing big?
I'm going to toast to that one. That was a decent one, actually.
Was it supersized or?
You big back, you know what I mean? 100% tax. Oh God. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Sierra, that was the joke of the night, more than likely. So,
whose car are we driving up there? Because I need to know right offhand.
Mine.
Oh, all right. So.
I'm driving, just FYI.
Look,
I'm a safe driver.
What do you mean I'm not? I'm a safe driver too. I just don't use my blinker. All right. I don't use it. Like, we're in Florida, we don't have that on our cars. We don't have it on our cars. First off, that was on the way home, Brandon. All right. People in here know the story. Okay. I kept everybody awake on the way there.
Really? Really?
Yeah. You and I in the back of the seat.
Then on the way home, it was, I'll keep you awake.
Exactly.
Or no, it was this. It was this.
Yeah. But Sierra knows Floridian drivers, okay? Blinkers are like a warning. I am getting over whether you're there or not, or you're going to allow me or not, okay? That's a Floridian way. So if they have the blinker on, just let them in, all right? Or you're going to have another claim on your insurance. So, but yeah, Florida's a different beast. Brandon knows this. Like, Florida is a different beast when it comes to driving.
I was going to say, Atlanta is go drive in Atlanta. It's man, Atlanta
Jack,
and Miami probably two of the main.
Well,
you might as well become NASCAR driver, and there's no formalities and courtesy. It's you cut people off to get into your lanes.
You know what Cat Williams said about Jacksonville, Florida? Do you know what he said? He said, "Welcome to Jacksonville, Florida, where the highways don't move." That is Florida. That is Jacksonville, Florida. The highways, dude. If there's an accident on 295, 95, US 1, all of them are backed up, and it's at a standstill.
I can believe that.
True story. 295 Buckman Bridge. fatality accident. Prayers, right? I'm hoping. But nevertheless, 95 was backed up for 2 hours. 295 was backed up for over an hour and a half. US 1 was backed up to 2 hours. I'm telling you, Jacksonville, Florida is a different beast. Because the city planner, I'm pretty sure, was on shrooms at one point. When they came up with this city, that's what happened. All right? That is exactly what happened. Yeah, see, Sierra,
Well,
they really are.
I know in Miami, you could go into a horn business.
Yeah.
They honk at you even if it's a red light.
Yep.
And you're sitting there, and a damn horn starts blowing behind you.
Yep. Move.
I've never been honked at so much as I was in Miami.
Bro, you live in an
You
area
just need to go
where
over there to Virgin Islands, then they honk every 30 seconds.
dude, because you live in an area where the cows are your major traffic issue. Okay, like there's two differentials here. All right,
They move over.
Jack's roads
We
are
don't have
spaghetti
horns.
noodles.
We
They
got
really are.
cows.
Yeah, because
We got cows
cows
to tell you to move.
have to wear bells because their horns don't work.
Actually, believe it or not, Brandy about hit an alligator in the road last year. And back before she had her car. So yeah, last year, dang big. And it was as long as the head was at one side of the road and the tail was on the other. That's how big it was. And she just glad she saw it, or she would have wiped her car and the alligator out, which the alligator probably would have walked off. But
It was probably a 4-foot gator. If anything's bigger than you, it is huge to her.
I'm sorry she has bad eyesight. I mean,
I know what, I'm not going to say that joke on this. Never mind. I can't say that joke here. Never mind. I'm not going to say anything.
let's not get kicked off.
Yeah. Because he was just a little swamp puppy that wants a little bit of love. That's it.
She would have loaded him up and took him home.
I just saw it. Not the swamp puppy.
We got another dog.
The way she is with animals, she would have, if she could have, she would have put it in the back of her car and brought it home and said, "Can we keep it?"
Yeah. You're like, you'll never guess what I found, honey.
I got me another
My wife
dog,
is like
boy.
that. My wife is like that with cats. All right. I don't know what it is, but like stray cats love my wife. Okay. Like I've got 4 rescues in my house, 4 rescue cats and a dog.
Ooh.
So but my little Rocky though, he only has one eye, which I love him. He's a little guy. He's my little guy. So
He's a pirate kitty.
no, we're like Rocky and Apollo because we rescued him at the same time. So because I'm a huge fan of Rocky, the movie Rocky. So
Nice.
so yeah, like 5 of them, little rock Mims, and there we're chilling. Yep. Dang. See, I'm telling you, my wife can attract those animals. I swear. Like my first 2 rescues, she found them in a bag down by the St. Johns River. Somebody had dumped them, and she had found them and taken my daughter, or taken my nephew rather, to the park. And then I'm in Iraq, right? And I get a message. Guess what? You're a cat dad. I'm like, oh, thanks. Great. But we had Callie for 16 years. Yeah. She passed away, was it 2 years ago now? So,
Yeah,
but she was a little
Brandy's
long life.
cat. She raised from a kitten. She found him, raised him, bottle fed him from a kitten. He just died 4 months ago. He was 20.
Oh,
20 or 21.
man. That's a beautiful life.
What kind of cat you got now? Is it still alive?
Well, we got 2 now. One's a rescue that just showed up out here, and that she brought in, and the other one, she's 10 or 15.
I didn't understand a word you said,
I'm talking
Brandon.
about that zombie cat that walks around.
I don't. That's the one that passed away. That was 20 or 21.
He finally passed away.
Yeah, we got his ashes over there somewhere.
Because I was about to say, damn.
She had to cremate him.
Please tell that cat to pass on.
Well, every time we thought he was, all of a sudden he was like a new cat. Like one of his 20 lives popped up, and he would go out and wander the property, and the other days he would sleep for days and not move, and then all of a sudden, boom, you'd open the door, he would shoot outside like he was damn a 5-year-old cat, just out the door, and then he'd go walk the whole property, from my house, my folks' house, and all. We'd have to go get him, bring him back. It was like, geez. And you think then he'd be on his deathbed again, and the next thing you know, he's like a new cat again.
Yeah, he was clinging onto that ninth life left hook. Yeah,
like the Walking Dead.
I can believe that.
Every time
I can believe that.
See, Callie was spry. Callie was a very spry cat up until she wasn't. So but just she was old and kidneys went. But yeah, she lived a long, happy life.
Sorry, Sierra.
What's the matter?
Yeah, she said her dog passed away last year.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't see that. I didn't see the message. I'm sorry.
I'm not a big fan of cats either, especially litter boxes. Now, my folks had a cat, and ironically, his name was Garfield. Years ago, he taught himself how to use the toilet. So they never had to get a litter box. He would use the toilet, and I can't cuss. Crap you not. Me and I was a kid, but my aunt was watching me at the time. My folks, they went somewhere with my grandparents and all that. So anyway, my aunt was babysitting me. I was 7, 8 years old, and all of a sudden in my bathroom in our old house, toilet flushed, and Garfield come walking out of the bathroom. So we're like, dang, he used the toilet, and now he knows how to flush it too.
You can actually train him to do that.
There's a book Brandy bought to try to train. I was going to train our other cat, but I was too lazy to read the book, so I never did it.
What do you got?
It was about 21 days to train them to use the toilet.
Move the cat litter box up there on top of the toilet seat, and then after so many days, you just make that hole a little bit bigger and bigger until it's actually the same size of the toilet seat.
What if it falls in though, and trying to utilize? I'm sorry, this one.
You got a wet. If it falls in, you got a wet kitty.
That's right.
And again, there's so many other jokes that I could definitely perpetuate from that statement, sir. I won't. However,
we got a lot of ladies in here. We got to keep it clean.
They're worse than us. They're all worse than us. They would outdo us. They would outdo us.
I'm sure they would.
But no, I'll be honest with you, boys. I've got to go pack, especially if we are going to leave tomorrow.
Yeah, it's almost 10. I got to go. I need to too, actually.
Yeah.
And well, thank you everyone that's came on, and definitely been an awesome time. And I hate we got to cut it short, but definitely keep an eye out for tomorrow. Like I said, if it works out like it's supposed to, we'll definitely be live for a little bit tomorrow night.
Not everybody.
And actually, too, check out Ghost Coast Paranormal. They go live every night, and you may see us on there. So,
hey, Spooky.
But it's around 10:30, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and, Spooky, you jumped on, but we're jumping off. We have to travel tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh man, we want to keep going because this is a good conversation, but we will be doing again. These are typically every Thursday at 8:30, but we're doing it tonight because we are traveling. Hopefully tomorrow to do an investigation. If we are going to go live, you'll see an event at not only my page but also James's page for the time that we'll go live. But for everyone else, James, you want to sign off for us, brother?
Yeah, like I said, thank you everybody for coming on. This is what it's all about, just a community of jokes and laughs and talking about the paranormal. And but definitely we'll try to keep y'all posted. And if we know we're able to, I'll try to send out something that way, or hopefully I'll get a notification or set your notifications to where you will see it. And that way you can join us tomorrow and even on the Battleship Saturday. We'll be on there, and there'll be tons of great people on there we'll be cutting jokes with and everything else. So, but thank y'all again, and thank y'all again for coming. What'd you say, Brandon?
I said we might be live doing the ride along.
Oh yeah. We'll definitely be doing that too.
I ain't gonna lie, man. You're gonna be my translator for this trip. Okay, I can't understand a word he's saying.
You're gonna need Chat GPT for that.
He had 3 vowels in that word live. How is that possible? All right, it was like or something. I'm not even sure. No, I'm kidding. It's gonna be a great time, guys. Me and Brandon are gonna cut up like we usually do, and James will
Like we're doing
get in
now.
there. This is exactly what we are like when we're together. But again, this is purely out of love, because we like to joke on each other and have a good time. But nevertheless, you can definitely see the events at the top of our pages. But tomorrow night's Friday night, because also too where we're staying. I'm not gonna release that.
Yeah.
And then Saturday night as well. So we have a lot coming from Across the Line Paranormal. So we truly appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Yes.
Stay tuned.
Y'all have a good night.
We
All
might
right,
have one less person. Stay tuned for next week.
All right, everybody. Have a good
Night,
one, guys.
everybody.
Later.
Y'all too.